it's slim chance to you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
Tory,
his
you short,
life.
you short, and your music trash anyway, and you're not popping. Dance,
Yeah.
bitch, dance. Pow, pow, pow.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Hood Analysts Podcast, where we talk about that real hood shit. And today we talking about the Tory Lanez and Meg the Stallion crazy case that just shocked the world. Everybody's in shock. We gonna get y'all opinions, y'all gonna get our opinions, and it's not really too many questions to ask about this one. We just gonna go through the case and say how we feel. So let's run it from the beginning. This happened 2 years ago, and I think it was four people in the
2020.
car, right? And this was in California.
Yeah, this
Yes,
is definitely
Okay,
in
California.
Yeah.
4 people in the car right after a party. Everybody's drunk and feeling
Drunk,
nice
yeah.
and all of that. I think it was Tory in the car,
The
Meg in the
assistant
car, Kelsey, which is her assistant, right?
Yes.
and her
the
bodyguard.
and the bodyguard, the
Yes.
driver.
Her bodyguard.
Yeah.
Okay. And some shit went down. Meg the Stallion gets shot. And for 2 years later, Tory is convicted of shooting her. So let me just put this out there real quick. The judicial system is complicated. Now, I understand someone got hurt. I understand that person's story switched up multiple times. This is the part that I don't get. I understand it's innocent until proven guilty. I understand all of that. What I don't understand, if somebody want to convince me or have conflicting beliefs, I personally, as a juror, if I was there, would be questionable about Meg because the way she jumped all around the place. And don't get me wrong, I don't have all the total facts, but as I'm just going throughout my life, this is 2 years. She coming out on public TV and all this stuff saying different things.
Different things, yeah.
I'm thinking in my head that he's going to get off because she's not a credible witness.
Yeah, nothing is adding up.
But also in my mind, she's the one that got shot. So if I get shot in the car, back turned, whatever, you're going to turn around. You're going to see who did it. So I can understand that. Like, I can understand she's the one that shot and she's the witness. So it's basically whoever she says shot her. But
It has to be some type of evidence
Still.
that leads to that. You feel what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, everybody was under the influence. You feel what I'm saying?
okay.
When you're under the influence, as you know, most people should know that you can't really recall your situation as clearly as if you were sober.
Absolutely.
So what had happened was that the assistant, which is Kelsey, and Meg got into a scuffle. You feel what I'm saying? And it was like a heated scuffle because, you know, somebody broke their nail and somebody pendant got, you know, taken off. You feel what I'm saying? So
okay.
what happened was the firearm got discharged and there's gunshot residue between Tory and Kelsey. So it's one of the two of those people had to fire the gun.
Okay, so my next question will be, one of those two of the people had to fire the gun. My next question, as a juror, because I'm just putting myself, I want to convict the person who's guilty, and I want to let the victim get their justice. So me thinking as a juror, is the gun registered? Whose name is it registered under?
No.
If it's
No.
not registered, whose gun was it? Were those questions asked and answered?
Definitely.
Definitely yes or definitely not?
No, they were answered. The gun wasn't registered. That's one of the charges.
Okay.
Yeah.
That the gun wasn't registered.
Okay. The gun is not registered. So do they have any evidence that it's Tory's? Whose car are they in?
I don't think that was mentioned.
Yeah.
And look, don't get me wrong. I've read posts on the cases.
Actually,
I've seen videos. I know a lot of the stuff that I'm saying, but I'm coming in with a complete open mind. I don't want to come in like biased. So
to the situation.
I'm answering the questions that I
So,
feel needs to be answered.
I would say this.
I'm asking.
I think that it was Meg's car, because if Meg's bodyguard was driving the vehicle, most likely that's a vehicle issued to, you know, her bodyguard's detail.
Okay.
So most likely, that's her vehicle, right?
Okay.
Also, now with the gun situation, I want to say that they said it was Tory's gun, but there's no evidence
Evidence. No
proving
DNA was found on the
on the
weapon.
gun. Exactly.
Okay.
So put like this: when they were casing the evidence, when the crime did happen, they didn't case the evidence properly. So certain shells weren't picked up. They weren't encased properly. The murder, well, not murder weapon, the assault weapon wasn't cased properly. So they had inconclusive DNA. They couldn't tell whose DNA was on the gun. The only thing that they could tell was that they both, Kelsey and Tori, had residue
Residue.
on their
Yeah.
hands. So, as a total synopsis about the casing of the scene was terrible. The police did a terrible job casing the scene.
Okay.
So that really started this whole, not having credible evidence and this, that, and
Yeah.
third. So if the scene was cased properly, we would have probably got a better answer when it came
Answer.
to.
Everybody have a different outlook on.
Okay. So what do you guys personally think? Do you guys with all of the facts and the situation and the state and everything that went on in this case,
Mhm.
where have you, what how would you guys would have judged it?
Okay, so now if somebody shoots at somebody and somebody gets hurt, I'm not saying just because I'm a man that I'm biased towards Tory. I'm just saying anybody who shoots after somebody and hurts them should be charged. Now the thing is either right or wrong. So you have to prove that the person who fired a gun is the person who fired the gun, regardless if it be man or a woman.
Female. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Of
So
course.
so my thing is that the story that was told,
Yeah, that was
right,
presented to
that was
us.
presented to the jurors, whatever have you, it was so it was not credible at all, to the fact that somebody's keep on switching their story. Because how, put like this, how are you supposed to truly believe somebody that something happened if, one, they're under the influence? That's one big part,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Two, they're switching their story every single time that they talk. So how are you supposed to believe somebody that won't stick to their own story?
That was where I was falling out.
Yeah. And the next thing too, put like this. If you don't have any guilt at all, right? And this is coming from Kelsey's side, right?
Okay.
Why, as soon as you go on the stand or about to go on the stand or even on the stand saying, I plead the fifth, I want immunity. Only people who want immunity is people that's guilty, that don't want to get charged for the crime that they committed.
That want to protect themselves.
Exactly.
Okay.
So there's something in the midst there that's not being said that made her want to do that.
I feel like it's two possible things. It didn't go down the way that they said it went down, and Kelsey shot her friend.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It could go down that way, or Tory shot Meg,
Mhm.
and along that night or the next few nights,
Mhm.
Tory could have reached out to Kelsey like, "Look, we know what happened. Hush, hush, money, whatever it is. It could be anything." Those are the only two situations that I see playing out.
Mhm.
That's why I think that Kelsey would ask for immunity. Maybe she was scared. Maybe like it could be anything.
She definitely
Um,
took her statement
Now,
back.
I would say this right now, not to cut you off, but let's play a scenario right here, right?
Okay.
So, Tori and Meg definitely had, sexual relations in the past, right?
Mhm.
Same probably with Kelsey too, right? A fight did incur, right?
Okay.
Between Kelsey and Meg,
Okay.
right? Now you're drunk under the influence. When you're under the influence, your anger or your emotions are heightened, right?
Absolutely.
So now Tori wasn't in the fight at all. He probably caused the fight with what he said, but he wasn't inside of the fight, right?
Got you.
So now you're thinking, Kelsey beat up Meg, right? You're under the influence. You see a gun. What's gonna be your first thought? You're gonna pick up the gun and you're gonna try to shoot it, right? If your intent is to hurt that person, because Tori didn't have no intention or any just to shoot that weapon
No
after
reason.
Meg. No reason at all. You feel what I'm saying? Because he
No.
wasn't in the fight.
No valid
Reason. Yes.
But we have to be totally open and honest about this.
Mhm.
I know a lot of niggas in the hood that shoot niggas for extremely petty shit.
Yeah,
And
that's
we
true.
have to
But the thing is, do you see them
Definitely.
shooting women? You feel what I'm saying, for some petty shit?
It could happen.
It could.
It could happen. And all right. It's a pandemic or epidemic of the genders being opposite what they are. So not to come at Meg or Tory or anything, but it's a lot of emotional men out here and it's a lot of masculine women out here.
Yeah.
So with that being said, not particularly on this case, but it's niggas out there that get emotional and do dumb shit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Tory per se, but I'm not leaving that option off the table.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's definitely not off the table. But what I want to say is that what is the probability of somebody shooting after somebody that's not even in the fight? You feel what I'm saying?
But we gotta take into accountability that everybody was drunk.
Yeah, no, everybody
So
was drunk too.
maybe that had a play into his
No, of course,
actions.
it definitely. But like, put the drunk aside, whatever have you. Like, now put it into the case that everybody's not drunk, whatever have you. Put yourself in a situation, right?
Okay.
Two girls are fighting.
Okay.
You have a gun, right? You might have allegiance towards one side more so, but you're friends on both sides.
Okay.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I'm messing with both of
Both,
them. They
yes.
find out, they get into an argument.
Yes. Are you shooting your weapon at them or at one person?
Me personally, absolutely not.
Yes.
I would call myself a logically sound person that
All right,
makes
so now,
rational decisions.
Put it now. Say if you were under the influence.
It's kind of hard for me to put myself in that position because I'm not a big drinker, and even if I do drink, I drink small amounts. So I could see how somebody who is under the influence, it depends on how much drinks they had. I've seen people do belligerent, dumb stuff drinking. I'm not gonna just put it past him or anyone.
Nah, it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible he shot, but it's like, what's the probability of that really being like that happening? It's slim chance to. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
Tory,
his
you short,
life.
you short, and your music trash anyway, and you're not popping. Dance,
Yeah.
bitch, dance. Pow, pow, pow.
Yeah. Especially that he's but when was that really said? Because they were fighting. You feel what I'm saying? They were fighting. Kelsey and Meg the Stallion was fighting. You feel what I'm saying? So the more probable chance of something happening is that she probably grabbed the gun, which probably is his, and she probably shot after Meg and said that. Because mind you, they're fighting. They're in the emotions already. They're angry. You feel what I'm saying? They fighting each other to the point where one broke a nail, one got their pendant took off. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now it being Tory's gun, probably, right? He probably tried grab the gun from Kelsey she probably was shooting after her, and he probably like, yo, like chill, like what are you doing? Like, and she probably shot it while he was in the vicinity when he's trying to grab it, and he got the gun residue on his hands also.
That could be a possibility.
And that's something that the court should have took into account, that maybe that could have happened, because you going off this information, you don't have no witnesses.
Yeah.
Because the bodyguard didn't testify. Neither did Kelsey testify. It's basically word for word.
Yeah.
And whose bodyguard is it?
Meg's.
And he didn't testify.
No. He had went missing for a long time of the case, and then he just popped back up like yesterday.
And didn't say nothing. Never even came to court or nothing.
And he was a main witness inside.
He was a main witness.
And he would probably be the only person that was in that situation that probably wasn't that was sober.
He should be the one that's like, this what happened, this what went down.
But he didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So he went missing.
Yeah.
For the case.
Because my thing is, like, if you have to put it like this, right? As a whole story and situation, you have two witnesses, right?
Okay.
And both of them are changing their story and they want immunity. Immunity amounts to guilt. There has to be some type of guilt somewhere for you to want immunity.
And she also said, Kelsey also said that she didn't remember her story from that night.
So how you supposed to take that into
she
consideration?
can't testify.
Okay. So I'm seeing that this case is not just about what went down, what kind of charges we giving out. To me, it's like it's so many factors, it's so many conversations and lies, and you don't know what the truth is. Me personally, as a juror, I'm either stepping down or pleading not guilty, only because I feel like I don't got all the facts right. I don't see myself convicting. All right, let me put myself in a situation. I don't see myself convicting someone of a crime that could put them behind bars for several years
And
based on with so much reasonable doubt.
And could get deported.
With so much reasonable doubt, with people lying, with people recanting their stories. I'm pleading not guilty. Now, when I'm saying that, I'm not saying Black women don't need to be protected or anything like that. I'm not saying that. One, she herself lied about what happened when she got shot. So it's not about protecting Black women or anything like that. It's about
what's
this
wrong,
case.
What's right.
This case is so jumbled that
it should have been a mistrial, to be honest with you.
It should have been a mistrial because, yes, someone got shot, but it was in the foot. They're not paralyzed. It wasn't lethal. It wasn't fatal. To put somebody behind bars for several years on a case that has so much reasonable doubt, and the defendant, or whatever you call it, Meg, lied about multiple things. Me as a juror, I'm pleading not guilty, and that's where I'm with it.
And that's another thing. I want to know: did they ever release at least like the sex, like the gender of who the jurors were?
Do you think that matters?
Yes,
definitely.
Yes, it does.
Because put like elaborate,
put like the DA, right? The DA is like, oh, we gotta protect our women. This, that, and the
they
third,
said that at the trial.
And right, put like this.
They said that.
Yes.
We need to protect our women.
Yes. And they try to defame his character too. On top of that, it's not. There wasn't even just going off of facts. They was going off of his character.
Yeah, you can't use his past against him. That's one thing that they were trying to do. Use his past against him.
Exactly. And but like this, right? So you can't use it in the trial as in concrete evidence because to saying his character. But what that does is put in a, how'd I say? It shows how Tory is to the jurors, and that would decide their decision. Because if you try to pay him as this person, the jurors are gonna be like,
you're gonna mislead. You're gonna mislead the jurors.
That would morph their minds and decision making. Yes. I understand that. Yes,
and it's supposed to be a jury of your peers, right? And mind you, the defendant is Tory, so a jury of the peers. It should have been some women and some men. But if it's majority of women over men, that's not fair.
But all of the jurors said the same thing. They all pleaded. They all said he's guilty.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know that.
Well, we don't know exactly.
We don't know that.
Okay. But more so, he had a guilty
it's
guilty
just more
charge.
Than 6.
It was just more jurors.
Than 6.
Yeah, more than half.
12. It's a 12 juror, so more than 6. So it could have been 7-5.
Okay, it could have been 7-5. We don't know what it is yet, though.
Yeah, but he definitely.
Right, we might have to look that up. Yeah, I mean,
and another thing I would say too is that you got to put it in the sense that who has more loyalty to who? You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
So now this assistant Kelsey, right, has known Meg for years, way more years than she has known Tory, right?
Okay.
So who does she have more loyalty to protect?
Meg, of course.
So, and vice versa, Meg has more loyalty to protect the assistant more than Tory. You feel what I'm saying?
I just feel like I don't got enough. Like I said, it's not enough. Like I would need to know whose gun it was. I'm asking questions about why the bodyguard didn't show up and testify. I'm like, it's so foggy that I couldn't put somebody in jail for that many years based off of what they presented to me.
But the thing is too, right? He wouldn't have got that many years if he would have just pleaded out. He probably would have got a year and a day, right? But the thing is, he's not a citizen. So if he gets a felony charge by any means, he's liable to get deported, most likely. So he had to fight the case. But the thing about fighting a case or going to trial is that when you try to waste the states or government's money and time, they're going to hit you with the book. Like is
Okay.
but he
And
had no choice because it was either he had the possibility to beat the case and then still stay here, or automatically have less time but get deported.
okay.
And most of his money probably comes from
The
doing
states.
tours in the states.
Okay. So I mean, yeah, guys, how do y'all feel about it? Let us know in the comments. We gonna like I said, I'm not like a court
100%.
person or
Mhm.
in the government at all. I'm just a civilian. I'm not even a fan of neither of these two. I just know that they both got extreme popularity.
Mhm.
And from what I said, like I said, with the evidence shown, I'm saying not guilty because that's a lot of years. The victim was hurt, but not like
Crazy.
life
Yeah.
potential, like life threatening. And I want to ask you guys, and I want to ask the fans, what is the lesson for men in this situation,
Mhm.
men, rappers, for Tory's side, everything that he represents, and what's the lesson for women on this case? What are you taking away from this?
Okay. I'll go about this first because I can have my answer. I would say that for men, you have to be aware of your situation. You would have to, especially around women, and you have to know what state you're into. That's
Mhm.
another that plays
To know the
another big
laws.
part, right? Just be very aware around women because at the end of the day, it's becoming this war against men and women, and women are prevailing. Basically, they got a handicap. You feel what I'm saying? Like in a match where the odds favor them,
Okay.
and you really have to prove yourself as innocent and have the actual evidence for you to prove because they're gonna choose the women's side all the time. Because look at Amber Heard. If what's his name was it Johnny Depp?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, if he didn't have the recordings, he'd probably be facing time in jail right now if he didn't have those. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was the innocent bystander in the situation when she was the aggressor. But without the evidence, they would have looked at her side. She was right because that's how it is now. Woman is always right, and he would have got convicted even though he was innocent. So you have to take that into consideration when you're around these women, and don't get yourself into something that doesn't have to be. You feel
Yeah.
me? If it goes there, it goes there. But don't push the situation because you're gonna have to. Oh, I would say this too. If anything does happen, record the situation. That's the only thing that will save you.
Okay.
Record. You have to record because if you don't, it's her word against yours, and her word is gonna have twice as much emphasis and justification.
Yeah, people don't like to hear that, but I can kind of agree that women, like, they get bailed out a lot. They can play that professional victim role.
Hmm.
What I would have done, or what I would have had made sure was all good in the situation, um what they were at, like Kylie Jenner's party or something like
Hmm.
that. You're going to a party with famous people, extremely famous people. I understand they're just people just like us, but when you got that much money and fame and popularity floating around, I'm not bringing no weapons. And if I am bringing a weapon, it's registered and my bodyguard is holding it. Like, that's another thing with the case that I don't get. Why is there a fucking unregistered gun in this car when they at
And you don't
a
even know who running
industry
it.
a famous party? Like
Exactly. Where
that.
they have security, they have the bodyguards there, whatever have you. Most likely, they all have firearms, whatever have you. You have your own bodyguard that has possibly has a firearm too. What is the reason for you to carry a firearm and put yourself in that situation to even be in where the situation that you're at right now? So I'm not. I'm gonna say this for those that saying, oh, Tory bias, whatever have. Tory's definitely at fault in this case, hands down. He's at fault in some
Okay.
way. But the fact that they don't have the right
Evidence
evidence
to convict
to
him.
convict him is my problem. But he definitely has a fault in it because most likely it was his gun and it probably wasn't used in the best of favor. But at the end of the day, if that was his gun, it shouldn't have been brought there. That's just is.
It shouldn't have been brought there. And all right, I'm gonna just say this too. Like, you see this happening to extremely famous people around the world. If you just a regular nigga out here or a regular girl, you gotta have your shit like on lock tight, because if they coming crazy like this to people like them, and don't get me wrong, I believe in one God, but a lot of people treat these people, they worship them. They think they above the law. So like, if this is happening to them,
imagine you
exactly
without any money, because most likely this case was like a multi-million-dollar case, right? So imagine you without no money for a lawyer or a good lawyer, whatever have you. So whatever that female would say, you're getting charged for that because you can't even defend yourself in a situation.
Yeah, like he said, like Trap said, record the situation. I'm not showing up with no firearm.
Know where you at. That's it.
Yeah, know where you at.
Know your surroundings.
Know your surroundings. When you drinking and stuff like that, you gotta like. This is not common sense, or it's like an unwritten rule of my life. I'm not drinking around people that I don't really know like that.
Yeah,
and that's
that you're not comfortable with.
And I'm a person that I don't even get drunk, and I don't do belligerent shit like that. But like, I know what alcohol can do. I know what it can do for me, but I don't know what it does to the people around me, especially if I don't know them. I'm only drinking like that, like getting to the point where shit could get like out of hand if I'm with people that I trust.
And most likely if it's in your house too. Like for me, like if I do drink and I know that I'm gonna be like in a certain situation, whatever have you, I don't drink to even put my mind in a certain place, because at the end of the day, you have to be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah,
so getting drunk, that's irresponsibility on you, because you're not aware of your actions or the actions around you, and that's how you get in trouble.
Yeah, and that's how stuff gets all like. I mean, I've seen it in like TV shows and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm not extremely credible on this, but I've seen like instances where somebody could say this, and this went down, and then somebody get up there and ask, were you smoking weed that day? Yeah. Now it's all not credible. Like, you don't want to be drinking and smoking and getting into situations with people that you barely know, because when everybody got to come and tell their story, it's going to be from different perspectives, different things happened at different times, and then y'all all drinking and smoking. Like, it just creates a big fog that nobody could look past. And in this day and age, it don't matter who the jurors are. The world is like so upside down. You don't know what they are thinking. Like, you don't even want to put yourself in this type of situation
at all.
So like, no matter how I feel, no matter how y'all feel,
avoid certain situations.
Yeah, avoid certain situations. You got to.
But like this too, right? As Tory or as anybody that's famous and successful, and how long it took you to get to that point, right? You got to protect the brand as much as possible. Right?
Absolutely.
You got to understand what state you're in, their laws, this, then, and third, and you work around it. You
and not even that. What's at stake? Yeah, what you can lose.
Exactly.
Because it really worth
especially Tory, right? He knows that if he gets caught with a firearm and is a felony in a state, he's getting deported. So why me, as a person that's not quote unquote legal as a citizen in another country, is gonna carry a firearm for what?
Okay.
I have enough money to hire a bodyguard or hire multiple bodyguards so that they can be around me and protect me as such, and I could still move legally. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I agree. And no one's ever come with this take, at least that I've seen on YouTube. How about this? You never see R&B singers or pop singers running around with guns and shit. Like, this is the Hood Analysts Podcast. We talk about that real hood shit. Do you think rappers know better? Like, we've seen this countless times with the guns in the car, and like, do you really think it's a danger? Like, they see it as something like Definitely. A dangerous profession? And
yeah, because you have to understand, a lot of rappers get got.
Especially
if they go back to their own hood and stuff like that.
Yeah.
or they're in
They
different
come
hoods.
they come accustomed to a living environment.
Yeah, and then on top of that, as a rapper too, right? How you look with bodyguards, then you capping in what you saying. I can't hold my own. You feel what I'm saying? Oh,
And
this nigga.
that's
I
only
think
some.
that's so toxic. Like
But
I
but you gotta put it as a rapper though. You can't care about the outside thinking. You feel what I'm saying? You above them people that talking about you, right? So you gotta move a certain way. But some people still stuck on that bottom mentality that they care about whatever the people in the hood say, and they gotta live up to that. So that's why they carry their piece on them. Cause like I ain't never gonna get caught lacking this, then the third. You feel what I'm saying? But you as because you have to think of yourself as a brand now, not just a rapper, not from the hood that you're from. You feel me? You gotta protect you because at the end of the day, you're paying for your family stuff. You got your kids to support, this, that, and the third. Who cares about what other
Ready to
people
throw it
say? You
all
feel me?
away.
Throw it all away over a gun that you can have other people to protect you for.
I got a question. So not necessarily just Tory Lanez, but rappers as a whole,
Mhm.
guys and girls, whatever, rappers.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that they are in general secure people? Do you think they're insecure? Because let's say a rapper from where we from, he blow up,
Mm-hmm.
he get all the way up to the top, he got
Mhm.
everybody singing his songs and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and he's still worried about what people think where he's from.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's an issue? Do you think that's a good thing? Like,
No, it's definitely not a good thing. It's never a good thing, regardless of the sense. You shouldn't be caring about what people think because at the end of the day, it's like whatever makes you happy is what you should live. You feel what I'm saying? But that's a hard thing to tell people, and people actually live by that. They don't care about what other people think.
yeah, I feel like a lot of people from the hood scream that out to the top of their lungs. I don't give a fuck. I
But
don't
they really
care.
do.
I don't care what people think, but
Yeah,
just me being a sound person, you shouldn't have to say that if you didn't care.
yeah.
So
Because
like,
put like this, if they didn't really care, right? Because put okay, take a J Cole or a Kendrick, right?
okay.
You don't see them wearing these fancy watches and chains and clothes and all those stuff. All that stuff really is for the people that's watching them. Because if you truly didn't care, you just because when you're chilling, right?
Yeah.
You're in your house, you're chilling, right? Say if you gotta go outside step to go groceries, whatever have you, you're not getting dripped out and all this stuff because you don't care that other people see you like that because you're just trying to do what you need to do.
Now, all right. Asking me that question is
Mhm.
is it's a little confusing because like I got my,
Mhm.
but it sound crazy, but the way I was raised and the way that I see life, I know people judge you based on your appearance,
Mhm.
not
Definitely.
just the jewelry and all that, but like I don't wear designer or anything like that, but I wear clothes that fit. I wear
Yeah.
clothes that show off my best features. Almost like how, shorties wear the yoga pants and all that. Like
Yeah.
I took the game from all walks of life. I want to be presenting myself in the best light all the time. I cut my own hair in between barber sessions. It's some people out there that's like me. So when it comes to rappers, do you think that they got that mentality, or it's like, let me throw the chains and jewelry on so I can show these niggas that I'm getting it? Like,
Yeah, that's the mentality.
Definitely.
That is mentality because you wouldn't have those chains if you wasn't trying to show like I'm getting it. You feel me? Because all the wealthiest people in the world, you never see them with jewelry on, and they're like 30, 40 times richer than those rappers.
Definitely.
You feel what I'm saying?
yeah.
They don't gotta show it because at the end of the day, if you look at they network, shit like $450 million. You feel what I'm saying? What rapper touching that?
I mean,
But
you're right.
Because
It's
you don't gotta show it when you got that when you really got that bag.
absolutely.
Look at Jay-Z. Jay-Z used to do all those things. You feel what I'm saying? Diddy used to do all those things. You see them wearing all that stuff now because they already got there.
Okay, so
There's
I got
more
another
to them.
question. I got another question. This some real hood shit.
Mhm.
Whose fault or who's at blame when, like I said, I like to wear shit because I know how people are gonna look at me.
Mhm.
The jewelry, y'all don't know my history, but I could care less. I like it because I like it. I got a fucking Majin Buu thing on. That's anime, Dragon Ball. Like I like that shit.
Mhm.
Now, is it my fault or society's fault or the hood mentality fault that I could walk outside after this podcast, 3 in the afternoon, wearing what I want to wear, and shit could happen. I could get robbed. Something could happen. God forbid. Whose fault is that? Me knowing where I'm from, walking outside with this stuff on, or do I look at the world like, why can't I walk with this stuff on? Like,
Okay.
why y'all gonna rob y'all own brother? Like,
listen.
I know the answer, but I'm just asking.
Let me say this, right? So, in all walks of life, in every situation, we all have a fault at something. You feel what I'm saying? Even if it might be one bigger than the other, we all have a fault, right? If you go in a low impoverished area, right, where people don't make that money, right, but they see fancy things. One, they could either want to sell it or they want to wear it, right? But they don't have the money to get it. You have a responsibility as yourself not to wear those things in those type of environments because it can't happen, right? Not to say that you're wrong for wearing it, but you know what could happen is a possibility. So you're kind of wrong because you thought about it, you didn't think about it to go where you're at to put those things on to get robbed. You feel what I'm saying? But then another thing also you have to see is that in our hood, in our area, in our environment, we classify certain things as a status symbol. So instead of
Absolutely.
trying to work to get to that status, we put things on or we buy things to make us that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And on top of that too, in these other neighborhoods, like the white neighborhoods, whatever have you, right? They don't really care about those things because at the end of the day, most likely they own those things, right? Not even just the material things, like probably the companies that make them. You know what I'm saying? So they look down at those things like, oh, that's not real wealth. Oh, me having a nice crib is that wealth. Because people in the hood, they go buy the car, they go buy the chains, and they still in their mama's a crib, you feel what I'm saying? Or they sleeping in their car. They don't think about the real bigger ticket items like a house, a business, a yacht, you feel me? An island
It's
sometimes.
all short-term thinking. They don't think about the
Exactly.
bigger picture. And
Exactly.
I mean, like, it's crazy to me because it's a shame that I'm black and I would feel much safer walking down a Jewish community than in my own hood.
Yeah.
And
It what it is.
like I said, it's that's the reality. You gotta assess the situation. You gotta know your surroundings, know where you at. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed that when I walk downstairs, hell yeah, I'm gonna tuck my chain. I'm gonna put my watch in my pocket. Like, that don't make me feel like I'm a pussy ass nigga, a bitch ass nigga. I care what people think around me. I care about my life, and
Yeah.
I'm assessing and
Exactly.
observing where I'm at. Like,
Yeah.
I think rappers and just people from the hood in general need to humble themselves and swallow that pride a little bit, because it's
Yeah.
like,
Everything in the hood is about pride. You feel what I'm saying? And they don't call it the trenches for a reason. They don't call it the jungle for a reason. You feel what I'm saying? They call that shit for a reason. Is everybody trying to get over somebody else to be on top? Nobody wants to work together. That's the reason why in the communities you don't see that many black owned businesses, or because everybody puts their pride at the top and they don't care about the long-term goal, because nobody in the hood ever sees long-term, because people don't even make it out to be
yeah,
long-term.
yeah,
You feel what I'm saying?
it's not a village mentality anymore. Like, people not good to their neighbors anymore. It's not
Nope.
like, I want to see you win. I want
Mm-mm.
us to win. It's like,
It's what I could do and what can I get there. You feel me? It's
Yeah.
about me,
it's me
me
against
all
the
time.
world. Me
Yeah.
All
against
the
the
time.
world.
And everybody, I'm not gonna say everybody in the hood thinks like that, but majority of people think like that, and that's why we can't get nowhere. That's the reason why we're killing each other like we're killing each other. You feel what I'm saying?
What you think is, I mean, you kind of just said it, but like, what do you think is the solution? What can we do as a entity, as a podcast, as people from the hood as well, that don't necessarily think or act like most of the people where we're from? What do we do? What do we say? Like, and I'm asking the fans too, like, because like I was saying before, yeah, it's a Tory Lanez, or it's my fault if I go into a certain situation and not assess it. But that situation wouldn't even exist if everyone's mentality wasn't where it's at. Like, it's a shame that I have to tuck my shit before walking outside where I'm from. What do we do to fix that? So, do you ever see a world where we can around freely, wearing and doing what we want.
Put your feelings aside and think logically. That's all that it is.
You can't change it.
But
It's
you
gonna
can't.
continue to happen.
It's gonna continue to happen. It's not gonna really change. But that's the only way that you change it, and that's from growing up, not learning to be aggressive,
Yeah.
not going into your feelings. And now we're in an era where your feelings matter more than the actual facts itself, which is crazy. But that's the only way that you stop it. Because if people sit down and really think about their actions or what they're about to do, right? They wouldn't do the certain things. Because like, put like this, you as a logically thinking person, right? You see somebody with the chain, you see somebody with the jewelry, right? You want that, right? You would say, okay, I'm not about to go risk 10 years of my life just to wear that watch for like a couple weeks before I get caught or anything like that. Because you're gonna get caught. Like there's no way around it. Eventually, you're gonna get caught.
Yeah, there's cameras
You-
everywhere. There's people out here.
I'd
Like,
rather work a whole year to get that watch or get that chain and be able to live it and wear it and whatever have you, instead of trying to go take it from somebody and risk my freedom just
Yeah.
to have a material object which is gonna get taken from me when I go to jail anyway.
okay,
So,
sorry, you got
Go
some.
ahead.
So what I'm getting out of that is, like I said, I'm looking for the solutions. The people from where we from need more patience.
Yes.
Okay. So
Well,
patience is one
starts
thing.
with it starts with the parents.
That's
Let's say that if they're learning from early to do what they got to do and learn how to work for what they want, then everybody will fall into the cycle. I need to work for what I want instead of taking it from somebody else getting the easy way.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, Tory Lanez, Megan the Stallion. What y'all think about this? We spoke about this because shit like this go down in the hood all the time, and
All the
it's
time,
not
bro. It's
broadcasted
crazy.
all over the world because it's not like famous people doing it, but this is not only happening to them. This is not only happening in California. This is happening all over America. What's y'all thoughts on this? Like,
Just drop them
any
comments.
yeah,
Yeah,
drop
drop
the
them
comments.
comments.
Any closing thoughts from ISO and Trap?
All right, so you go first.
Yeah, just keep us updated on anything that we didn't know, anything about the case that you would like to share. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
And as Kill said, need you guys to comment down below. Please tell you your side of the story, what you think about this case, what you think is gonna happen in the future, all those things. Comment also what you guys would like to hear us talk about. And I need you guys to like, I need you guys to share this video. I need you guys to subscribe to the channel and follow us on every platform at the Hood Analysts.
Yes,
And
sir, Ski. We here to entertain, but we also here to
educate.
be serious. So I know it was no sounds, there was no crazy laughter and all that. We look at this as a serious issue because this happens a lot where we from. So take
Yeah.
it serious, guys. Drop them comments. Appreciate y'all.
Peace.
Bye.
You're Mr. Body. Wait a minute. So who did I kill?